Welcome back to Woodruff Woods. Today I'm using my splitter, and I thought I'd take you through which splitter I chose, why I chose it, and what I like and what I don't like about it. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to show you. I have the Countyline, which is the Tractor Supply brand. I have the 40-ton gas splitter. That comes with a Kohler Commander Pro 14 horsepower motor on it. Got a decent sized reservoir that also sits right here on the back axle. You know, it can be used in the vertical or horizontal position. Frankly, I've used it mostly in the horizontal, the horizontal position. I tend to like that a little bit better. You know, for the big rounds, I will turn it up on its side. One other thing that I recently purchased, which is new, is the 4-way wedge. I'm not impressed with the 4-way wedge. Number one, you can see that when the log, I'll try to give you a better look at this. When the log is in there, this tends to sit a little too high and doesn't hit the center of the log. It's very rare you find the right size log for this wedge. Likewise, these wings on the side, and I'll just use my index finger to show you, is not very wide. And so oftentimes when you split through the wood, you end up having to run it through the splitter again anyway, because it's only partially split. So other than that, I mean, I do like the splitter. It works really good. The reason I chose this one at the time I chose it, which has now been a few years ago, was that it was one of the faster homeowner ones that I could find. This one cycles at about 9.5 seconds, and frankly, that's pretty quick. Certainly, the commercial splitters are faster, but it does a good job. And I like the cycle time on it. To be honest with you, you don't need a 40-ton splitter. 25 is plenty. My dad's run a 30 for years, and I've yet to find the piece of wood it wouldn't split. So you know, if you're looking for a splitter, this is a good option at a reasonable price. I understand now that they have the speed up on the 25 horse or 25-ton Countyline. Now that's rated at 9.5 seconds as well. And frankly, if that would have been the case when I bought this, I probably would have done that. The other thing about this one is that this is quite heavy. To tilt it up vertical, it's actually not too bad tilting it up, but bringing it back down can be a real effort. You know, sometimes I even have to pull it with the ATV or tractor to get it started. The other thing I would say is this particular part is a little bit small when you're in the vertical position. It'd be nice if it was up about this high, so that you had more room to sit the log up there and it didn't want to tilt out of the splitting area. So that's my Countyline 40-ton log splitter. I'm gonna do a couple of rounds here, show you what I mean about that 4-way splitter. I won't be talking during that. I'll just let the camera run, but you'll get an opportunity to see what I mean about how it doesn't do a really great job. So thanks for watching. You know, appreciate all of you that are subscribing at this point, and I see it's growing ever so slowly, but I appreciate those of you who have, and I'll try to keep bringing you some more interesting content as time goes on. Thanks again. stepped inside the woodshed here. Hopefully that gives you a little bit better wind on the mic. I don't have any of the mics for windy days yet. I will be trying to look into those in the future. As you can see from the video, the 4-way wedge, it works. It doesn't work great. I'm not sure I would purchase it again. You could see I split a piece of ash there. It did fine with the ash. Very straight grain. It was very seasoned, and it popped it right open. You can see that it struggled with the locust, which tends to be a more gnarly type wood, more stringy, and it really struggled to get through that. And in fact, you could even see on the one side of the log, it literally cut through it versus splitting it. So if you're thinking about this splitter, like I say, I think the cycle time's great on it. It certainly has enough power to get through any piece of wood you're gonna find, and you know, it's been pretty reliable for me. You know, I had a problem with the first one I bought. It was a same thing, but it had a leak on one of the hydraulic connections on the cylinder. I took it back to my local Tractor Supply and they gave me a brand new one. So they did stand behind it. They, you know, just swapped it out for me, and frankly, it, you know, to me, it really only needed to be tightened is all. I don't think it was cross-threaded in there or something, but they gave me a new one, and I was happy with that. It was fine. I haven't had any other issues with it. You know, it's been reliable. It does a good job. So wouldn't talk it down, and certainly for the money, pretty good bargain. So so good luck if you're looking for a splitter. I hope this helps. And so while I have you down here in the woodshed, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the way I stack my own wood. You know, a lot of people like to stack it by species. So oftentimes, you know, if you're in the wood selling business, people will call up and say, hey, do you have oak? You know, I tend not to like to burn my wood that way. I'm just going to show you back here, this pile. You will see that there are a variety of species in there. I'll just point to a couple. We have ash here. This is black birch. This is cherry. This right here is locust. So what I do is I try to mix them in. And the reason I like to do that is I like to control my fire at the point that I'm burning it. As a matter of fact, I even see there's a piece of white birch in here. I don't know how that got in here. Sometimes I do cut that for Christmas time because it does make a nice flame, but must have got stuck in here somehow. Anyway, I really do like doing it this way because, you know, some days, like if I'm going to be around the house and I can tend the fire, I want to use the maples and the ashes, which tend to burn hot and maybe don't leave as many coals. On days that I am here or not here, I want the oaks, I want the locusts, I want the black birch does pretty well. Hickory is fantastic, which as a matter of fact, in my next video, I'm going to be getting some hickory here, but I'll leave that for the next video. So anyway, I mean, to each their own. I wanted to tell you how I did it. I like mixing it when I stack it, and that way, you know, when I'm burning the fire and it's 0 degrees outside, I can sort through the pile that I brought in the house and choose the piece of wood that I want to use at that moment. So hopefully that's a helpful tip. I know other people do it different ways, and you know, the purpose of this channel is just to share how I do it. So you know, let me know what you think of that. You think I'm crazy? You think that's a good idea? I'd love to hear your feedback. Appreciate it. So as we look at this, and you'll see my chairs for the fire pit, which is right over there. My chairs are in here just so they don't accumulate water. But you know, I want to show you, I built this last year. You know, I was tired of dealing with tarps and those types of things, and I left one open here. I figured I could stack wood in here if I wanted to, in the IBC totes or on pallets. So I'm gonna walk around back and just tell you about, well, you can see how my bird just left. I got a robin who is nested here. I'll show you that in a minute. I left the back of this open. You can see originally I had planned on putting a backing on it. As I got stacking my wood, I felt that this was a better option to you know, pull from this side. I mean, last winter I pulled from the other side. So, you know, I can alternate how I'm pulling the wood out and making sure I'm getting 2 to 3 years on my seasoning. So, you know, this wood back here, I'll focus over here for a minute. There's the robin's nest. But you can see there's a lot of walnut and ash in there. The ash was cut probably about 1.5 years ago. The walnut was cut a little over 1 year ago. And, you know, that's ready to go. As a matter of fact, I might even sell some of that pile. Likewise, this cherry, that's probably 2 years ago. And this ash is probably 2 years ago. So, you know, I've got some really good seasoned wood. I like the idea of being under roof, and I end up getting nice dry pieces of wood. They're not absorbing that water from the snow and the rain and so on. I've kind of liked this in here as well. You know, it gives me a good place to store some things. You know, sometimes I'll have my garden tools, as you can see in here, or you know, the wheelbarrow is full of wood that you can tell that's not very good to sell or even to stack for burning. So that's fire pit wood, and you know, we can enjoy that and not just, you know, burn it in a pile later. But hopefully my little tour of the woodshed here gives you some ideas if you've ever thought about building one. I did do a pole building. You know, I used the tractor to drill the holes and you know, set this all up myself. It took me a couple of months, you know, trying to do it after work and whatnot, but you know, got it done. And you know, I'm pretty happy with it. It came out pretty good. It's kind of funny, I just noticed something. If you notice that pile, the top looks like it's bulging out. It really isn't. I was cutting most of my firewood about 18 to 20 inches. And since I've been selling it, I'm cutting it at 16, every piece measuring it. And the bottom is the 16s, and the top is some of those 18 to 20 inch pieces that I just kind of eye. But hopefully you get some ideas about doing a woodshed. I strongly recommend it. I wish I would have done it years ago. It just makes things so much easier in the winter time. This last winter we had, you know, 28 inches of snow or something back here, and my wood had nothing on it, and boy, was that nice. You know, I wasn't ripping at a tarp trying to pull it off with all that snow on it. So good luck to you if you decide to do one of these. Like I said, I kind of just designed this myself, but there's a website out there, I think it's called My Outdoor Projects or something. They have plenty of plans on them if you want to work from a plan. So all right, thanks for watching.